Joe Gibbs' hopes have just been dashed after a nail-biting race at Martinsville. Therefore, we've got some dramatic NASCAR action. We're talking about the elimination of not one, but two JGR drivers, Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. Even though Christopher Bell made it to the final, it's not the amazing three-car scenario they planned for at the outset of the playoffs. This season has been rough for Joe Gibbs Racing, so stay tuned for all the details and drama. But before that, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. So let's talk about the ups and downs of the JGR team at Martinsville. Two of the drivers, Denny Hamlin in the number 11 and Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19, had their championship hopes dashed after this race. It's a bit of a bummer for JGR, who started the playoffs with the possibility of having three drivers in the final showdown. But now they're down to just one. Joe Gibbs Racing is in a tough spot this year. First, let's talk about Denny Hamlin, who had quite a roller coaster day at Martinsville Speedway. He came into the penultimate race of the season sitting in 7th place in the playoff standings, with a 17-point gap between him and a championship spot. The pressure was on, and Hamlin made it clear that he needed a win to stay in the title hunt. Hamlin pointed to a power steering failure from the previous week as the turning point in his season. At the start of the race, Hamlin was on fire. He quickly moved up from his 4th place starting position to take 2nd place, right behind his teammate Martin Truex Jr. It looked like Joe Gibbs Racing was on a mission to secure multiple spots in the championship race. Hamlin even won the first stage of the race and collected all the valuable playoff points. He kept the momentum going in Stage 2, finishing in 2nd place, with only Ryan Blaney standing between him and the championship 4. But things took a different turn for Hamlin in Stage 3. He slipped back to 7th and 8th positions after an early pit stop, and the tension was mounting as his championship dreams seemed to be fading. However, Hamlin didn't give up. He mounted a comeback, clawing his way back up the ranks to outscore William Byron as the race reached its climax. Despite his valiant efforts, victory slipped through Denny Hamlin's fingers, and it was Ryan Blaney who took the checkered flag in the end. And as if that weren't enough, young gun William Byron from Hendrick Motorsports secured a spot in the Championship 4 based on points, sealing Hamlin's fate in the playoff. In the post-race interviews, Hamlin was asked to reflect on the day's events, and he did it with admirable composure. He mentioned, "Ultimately, that mechanical failure last week, the power steering, that sealed our fate. But we're proud of this whole FedEx Toyota team for showing up today when we needed to. They did great. They absolutely did great. The 12 car was the best car today, so congrats to them. And all the final 4, they're all deserving. There's going to be a great show next week. But hey, we're not in it for sure. We were definitely happy with the performance we had and really all around. You can't have a bad week, and unfortunately, the mechanical failure takes us from running really well to running into the 30s, and that's it." When asked about his emotions following this year's playoff exit, Hamlin's spirit remained unshaken. He said, "I just want to get ready to go and try to win next week. I mean, I still love it so much because it's every week I feel like I got a shot to win. That's what fuels my passion, even at my age, to keep doing this. I'm with the team that I got." As the NASCAR season approaches its grand climax, Hamlin, a title contender, is now setting his sights on redemption in Phoenix. He's determined to overcome the disappointments and finally clinch that elusive Cup title. What are your thoughts on this? Tell us in the comments below. Talking about Martin Truex Jr., the Martinsville pole sitter and Joe Gibbs Racing's seasoned driver, found himself out of the championship picture in the blink of an eye. The whole season's drama came down to the crucial 500-lap race on the half-mile track, and Truex Jr. was sitting on the wrong side of the cut line with a 17-point deficit. Despite a challenging playoff run, there was a glimmer of hope when Truex Jr. secured the pole position with a fantastic qualifying run. However, no one could predict the heartbreak that would follow, as the number 19 driver was eliminated in the final race of the playoffs due to a critical mistake, shattering his dream of clinching a 2nd championship title. This turn of events was particularly tough for JGR fans, as Martin Truex Jr. had a stellar start to his 2023 campaign, even bagging the regular season championship. However, after making it into the post-regular season playoffs with hopes of claiming a 2nd title, MTJ's playoff run turned out to be one of the worst in recent memory. Struggling with misfortune and inconsistency, the number 19 car couldn't replicate its regular season success. On a positive note, the 42-year-old veteran managed to survive through the playoff rounds, keeping his championship dreams alive. But it all boiled down to the final race of the playoffs, the 500-lap showdown in Martinsville. It was a must-win situation for Truex Jr. and his JGR teammate Denny Hamlin. However, a critical mistake in the 219th lap of the race proved costly. The number 19 JGR car was caught speeding in the pit lane, a move fueled by playoff desperation. This blunder dropped the driver from the second position to 22nd in the blink of an eye. The speeding penalty threw him into the midst of heavy traffic and ultimately crushed his championship aspirations. Short and intermediate tracks have always been a strong suit for the Japanese manufacturer Toyota, and Martinsville half-mile track is no exception. Toyota's impressive track record at Martinsville Speedway speaks volumes. The combination of JGR cars, including the number 11 and the number 19, has notched up a total of 8 wins at this venue. Denny Hamlin has been responsible for 5 of those wins, while Truex Jr. proudly claims the other 2. Heading into the race, JGR fans were brimming with optimism given Toyota's remarkable history. However, it turned out to be an unyielding day for the Fords. Once Ryan Blaney of Team Penske wrestled the lead away from Hamlin, the JGR cars faced an uphill battle. Blaney's performance was nothing short of a masterclass, as he pulled ahead of the competition and stretched his lead to over 2 seconds. The Ford cars were so competitive that all 4 of the Stewart-Haas Racing, or SHR, cars found themselves in the top 11. That's not something you witness every day. Aside from Hamlin and his number 11 Toyota, the remaining 4 cars in the top 5 were all Ford, including the victorious Team Penske number 12 car and 3 other SHR cars. Ryan Blaney was on a mission at Martinsville on Sunday. He didn't need to win to secure his spot in the NASCAR Cup Series championship race, but he left no room for doubt. Blaney's performance in the Xfinity 500 was nothing short of dominant, leading 145 laps, finishing second in Stage 1, and clinching Stage 2 and the race itself, cementing his place in the Phoenix title chase. William Byron secured the final spot based on points, finishing 14th at Martinsville. Blaney and Byron now join Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell as the drivers who will battle for the Cup in Phoenix next weekend. In the race, Blaney excelled, winning Stage 2. He started the race in the 11th position but quickly made his way up to second, behind Denny Hamlin by the end of the opening stage. After a brief tussle following a restart due to Ryan Newman's spin, Blaney overtook Hamlin for good with 30 laps remaining in the stage. Blaney made significant progress in the first stage, starting 11th after narrowly missing out on the final round of qualifying on Saturday. The stage's only caution occurred on lap 105 when Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Harrison Burton got tangled up, with Hamlin close behind, looking to lap them. The NASCAR Cup Series action shifted to the tight confines of Martinsville to narrow down the playoff field from 8 to 4. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell had already secured their spots in the championship race in Phoenix, but 6 others needed a win or a strong result to join them. On the positive side of the cut line were William Byron, plus 30, and Ryan Blaney, plus 10, while Tyler Reddick, minus 10, Denny Hamlin, minus 17, Truex Jr., minus 17, and Chris Buescher, minus 43, were on the outside looking in. Last year's penultimate race at Martinsville delivered one of the wildest moments in NASCAR playoff history, as Ross Chastain executed a daring move, riding the wall with the throttle wide open to edge out Hamlin and qualify for the final on points. However, that move has been outlawed by NASCAR in the offseason, so we won't be seeing a repeat this year. So that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.